I'd like to invite the Honourable Tracey Martin, your host for this evening, to address us. Minister.
Tēnā koutou katoa. First of all, can I please acknowledge those who welcomed us? I look around at the faces that are here, and one of the conversations that we're having in this nation is about the language that lives here, and how important it is that all things that only live here are protected and looked after. And how do we do that as we go forward as a nation, making sure that we don't lose what is special and only belongs here. And it's always a joy. I've just had many delegations from Australia in the last few days talking about how amazed they are about how te reo Māori and Māori culture is woven through New Zealand society. I had to tell them we weren't there yet. But it goes to show that we're trying. So I want to acknowledge those who welcomed us. Thank you very much for that welcome, and acknowledge the language that only lives here. Can I also ask those of you who have never been to this place to put up your hand? If you've never been here before, thank you. Welcome to your place. This is your democracy. This is your house. This is your House of Representatives. If you can't see yourself here, if you can't identify with somebody that is sitting in that chamber speaking on behalf of New Zealanders, then we are not doing our job properly. So welcome to your house. But make sure every now and then, not too often, you catch parliamentary TV and have a look around to see if you can see yourself or somebody like you there, and if you can't, that means you have to become a politician. So I want to welcome everybody to the Make Your Mark Awards ceremony here in the Grand Hall. It's really nice to see you all here today. Those of you who have travelled a great distance, thank you so much for making that effort. I want to acknowledge the Honourable Nikki Kay, Education Spokesperson for the Opposition and previous Minister of Education. I'd like to acknowledge Iona Holstead, the Secretary of Education, who's also here, and the many other dignitaries that are in the hall. It was interesting when we had the introduction about how people have participated as students, as parents, and as dignitaries, as politicians. So I'm the mum of 3 children. Right now my children are 23, 21 soon, and 18 soon. And all of them went through NCEA. And to be frank, I mean, I was the chairman of a board of trustees for years, and I'm not sure I still understand 100% about credits and transferable credits and that many standards and unit standards, achievement standards, and hence why we need to have a conversation. For those people who couldn't be here in the flesh today, the event is being streamed live through the Ministry of Education's Facebook page, and it'll also be available to watch later if you want to relive every moment. We invited all young New Zealanders to make your mark on the future of NCEA and inspire us through this competition, challenging young New Zealanders from 5 to 20 years old to share their vision of what education might look like in the future. What does success look like for you? What does a successful New Zealander look like for you? Is it somebody who has NCEA level 2 and then that's it? Is it something bigger than that? Is it about being happy and being able to participate in your communities, knowing how to interact and be kind to other people? That is the big question. An NCEA question is only part of it. So what does success look like for you? We've received entries from approximately 240 students and young people across New Zealand for the 4 categories, and I want to congratulate each and every one who has participated. You should all feel very proud of your efforts and contribution. I'd also like to thank your teachers and mentors for encouraging and supporting you with your entries. You know, sometimes to win, all you have to do is participate. But not a lot of people participate. Not a lot of people say, I'll do that extra bit of effort because I want to express my view, or my view might make a difference in the world. And your views expressed in this document is going to make a difference to this country and to future students. To some of you, by the time you get to NCEA, if that's still what we call it, it'll make a difference to you. The competition was designed to engage our student voice during the review of NCEA, which is part of that wider education conversation that's been underway since the 2 education summits we held in May. We're making a real effort to bring people, as many people together with as many views as we can. We know that NCEA is a strong qualification, a world-class qualification. It offers flexibility to students in their choices and to schools in their delivery of both the national and local curriculum. But NCEA has been around for 15 years, longer than some of you have been alive, I would say. So it's time for a review. And as you know, there are challenges and there are some areas that could be strengthened. So we're asking all New Zealanders to share their views and experiences of NCEA, the challenges, their successes, what they like and what we can do better. We want to make sure that everyone can have their voice heard. We're now coming up to the end of the NCEA public review engagement, and over 9,000 people have filled in a survey to attend a workshop and told us about their experiences. The majority of the survey responses have been from students. Those in school or recently out of school, and of course the Make Your Mark competition has been part of that. I want to just draw attention though to one contribution. As the Associate Minister of Education, I also happen to be the Minister for Children, and one of my delegations is around the well-being of children inside our schools. I want to draw attention, is St Hilda's Collegiate here? Thank you. I want to draw attention to their submission. Around that student wellbeing delegation, the Honourable Nikki Kay and I were on a panel last night of adults talking about NCEA, and we talked about the crisis of anxiety, the stresses that are going on in our secondary schools, but it's pushing down into our primary school students. And we talked about this fear of failure, this unattainable striving for perfection that we're seeing. And so I was particularly taken by the piece of research work that St Hilda's did that shows, and I read, a huge amount of stress is had from externals and internals, with a total of 78.1% of students being impacted either weekly or daily by the stress of those assessments. Many of us adults aren't assessed. Our everyday actions are not assessed as often as we are assessing whether our young people are doing it well enough. And I want to thank you for the piece of work, just because it's going to add to the piece of work that I'm going to do. So already you've actually changed the world, so there you go. As we move into considering what we've heard, the works we've received from young people through the Make Your Mark competition that we're celebrating here today will provide a powerful reminder of the ideas and aspirations that young New Zealanders have for their experiences with NCEA. So thank you very much to the students who participated. Thank you for participating. Thank you for making a difference, because everything you did, every drawing you drew, every piece of research you did, every word you wrote has made a difference. Kia ora, thank you.